Fake fruit! Fake! Fake! Fake grapefruit! Fake! Liar! You liar!
Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel. It is the afternoon broadcast where I do my monologue and you guys get your 30 minutes of I don't know, a pound of flesh. There it is. We get 30 minutes of your inner circle questions. We've got a lot to discuss here. We certainly do. So I want to get you guys on the board down below while I talk about, get your questions in down below while I talk about some of the crap that has managed to happen since last night's, well, zoo presentation. By the way, splitting headache this morning, but I was able to make it. I was able to drag myself out, hop in the Batmobile, and head out to work today. Put in a heck of a day, and here we are, folks. More crap on the way. Are you prepared? Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense, and a plan. I wonder if any of you watched the Italian hillbilly and his black pill presentation today. Sometimes when I'm just feeling a little down and I want to pick me up, I want to feel good about America and myself, I go listen to the Italian hillbilly. Kaz will make you look at your life and go, wow, I got it pretty good, because he'll go right down. Anyways, I wanted to do a little reach out and touch you to the Italian hillbilly there. And of course, we've got Uman as the moderator right now behind the scenes. So let's delve into what the hell is going on. Well, let's start with, well, how are them Democrats doing in New York City? That's right, they got that awesome socialist Mayor Adams, who's taken the city from bad to worse. Anyways, the New York Post, that's a newspaper, folks. They have a police bureau chief. Almost sounds like an official cop job. Well, that's right, a woman is the bureau, the police bureau chief for the New York Post. She was not just assaulted, not just picked on, not just nagged at, not made fun of. She was violently assaulted by a criminal, someone who didn't know who the hell she was, with a long criminal history. Well, what was she doing? Well, she was commuting, folks. How many people do we have to hear about are assaulted, robbed, mugged, killed, and even raped on subway trains in and around the Big Apple? Well, this time the media, local media superstar, well, she got to get a feel for how Democrat policies affect the little people. How does that criminal policy feel now? I bet it feels like a big bruise, some swelling, maybe a ringing, a headache, some muscle ache. I don't know, right? It used to be that some people could actually learn from experiences like this. Well, I don't know. Apparently not. Now, I'm feeling a little randy. I'm feeling a little funny. And I want to thank everyone, by the way, who's gone and watched the Aquatic Adventures co-host introduction video. Nice comments there. A lot of great comments for fun. But it's back into the trenches here, Sunday night and Monday through Friday. So we have an NBA star. An NBA star wants to step up, and he wants to say something to the world. Well, actually, he's a former NBA star. That's right. Once you quit getting paid to do as you're told, then I guess you're allowed to say what you want. And I'll tell you what, these NBA, Major League Baseball, NFL, NHL guys, they make bank, big money for playing, right? They can say, well, I'm an athlete. Well, I'm an athlete too, but no one pays to see me. But these guys got paid millions. Anyways, Cantor Freedom. He is a passionate advocate, according to the media, for human rights and has called out woke hypocrisy. That is the left-wing losers. He claims, folks, that because of his outspoken attitude, and by the way, he is black, and he's apparently not fond of woke left-wing Democrat socialist crap. So he says he's been blackballed from the league because he spoke out against communist China and the way they treat their Muslims, the Uyghurs. I think I said that right. Anyways, he couldn't. He's like, well, I guess if I don't have a job, I may as well keep after these people. So he wrote on what was formerly Twitter and is now X, right? This X thing, formerly Twitter. He says, men don't belong in women's spaces, restrooms, locker rooms, or sports. I think that's great. He says, since I'm blackballed from the NBA, should I put on a wig, identify as a woman, and start dominating the WNBA? I think that's funny as hell. Totally trolls the left, trolls the NBA, trolls all the sellouts over there. And he plays the man card like a man and sticks up for women who are actually women. Good stuff. It's always good to see when these things happen. Men don't belong in women's sports. I guess he goes by Ennies or Eanes Freedom. I can't pronounce that name, so I just wanted to use his regular real name earlier. He says, is that when the outage will begin? Is that fair to all the women who spent their whole life? There it is, X. Oh, good golly, I tell you. X. He says, is that fair to all the women who spent their whole life chasing their goals? Where are all the women's right activists and feminists? Good golly, sounds like he wants to be a guest on the Prepared Mind channel. I'd love to have him on here. I'd love to talk to him about his personal beliefs and then about the Chinese. How much control they have over the NBA, how much control they have over individual players, and how asking for the respect of the rights of others in another country can result in losing your job in America. It would be great for everyone to hear about that. Okay. Speaking of funny, folks, it has hit the fan, but I need you to understand that we have to laugh at these freaking people every chance we get, because there's stories like this. In Germany, a politician who is a part of the AfD, the Alternative for Deutschland, right? Basically, it's a right wing. Ooh, doesn't that sound scary when you put right and wing together? It's not scary, it's not friendly like left wing is so fun and right wing is so scary. Anyways, the Alternative for Deutschland, right? It's a conservative, or you could say a freedom-oriented political party, relatively speaking to the Green Party, the Socialist Party, the Communist Party, and the rest of the idiots. And the AfD is picking up, well, momentum and Steve. So what happens to this AfD politician in Germany? Well, a mob of migrants, that is to say, non-ethnically German people, attacked him, threw him on the ground, kicked him a bunch, broke his ankle. Right? He's got 2 black eyes. He's got the shit kicked out of him. And the German government wants to protect democracy. What is democracy, folks? Let me remind you. Democracy is 3 wolves voting on who are going to eat, what they're having for dinner with the 2 sheep. And the sheep are always outvoted by the wolves. Right? That's how it works. That's how it works. Right? 6 wolves voting against 1 sheep. What's for dinner? That's democracy, mobocracy. So whenever there's more of them, they feel that they can take a vote and just beat the hell out of somebody. They can take a vote and rob you. That's how it works. Three criminals stand around, look at each other, and go, think we could take those guys? And they're like, yeah, we could take them. And then they go rob somebody. They go murder somebody. They go rape somebody. That's what they do. That's democracy in action. We don't have a democracy in this country, folks. But we do have a political party that is all about hate, just like they have in Europe. Right? This is Europe's version of Black Lives Matter. This is Europe's version of Antifa. And they do have Antifa over there, folks. They're allowed to run amok. Amok, amok, amok. They're allowed to run amok and assault their political foes. I guess that's how politics is supposed to work. You're just you're allowed to beat the shit out of people. That's how this works. I wonder if I tried that, how far I would get. What do you think? How far would I get? Yeah, got some studio lighting that was donated. How about that? Get a nice, rich, warm color that shows my Scandinavian and German tones. Wow. Okay, got your email here, Mr. T. And if you've noticed the new intros and the new bunker that I'm broadcasting from, that would be some work of Mr. T. All right. Now, again, there's a lot of humorous shit coming out today. Elon Musk says he's going to drive to Zuckerberg's house to fight him and live stream it tonight. Hey, Uman, have you caught this? Have you found out where that's going to be televised from? You know what? I think this really is Elon Musk and Zuckerberg trolling us. Just wanting us to get all excited, hoping two billionaires will beat the shit out of each other. I would love to see it happen. And what I like is that, Elon Musk is like, well, I would donate all the money to charity. Is this some kind of a sadistic statement, a tease? There's charity out there that's been named, and they're not going to get a penny out of this. I just don't get it. There's some stuff I don't get, but I do. I guess I get the satisfaction of thinking about these two ding dongs just beating the hell out of each other. I know that everyone thinks that Zuckerberg will probably win in the realm of technical skills because he is a trainer in the MMA world. And he probably is best served by doing that because someone's going to catch him on the street one day and probably try and wring him like a washcloth. But I don't know, people I think would like to see him clobbered. If you actually sat down and took the time to learn where these rich people come from, how they got their money, what they did to get their money, you'd be shocked. You'd be surprised. You'd be disgusted. You really would. And then there's people like Hillary Clinton, who got her money the hard way. She spent her entire life screwing people over, lying, stealing, cheating, and some say arkanciting the hell out of people. Well, she she tried painting herself as a tragic victim. Anyways, someone did a book, right? And she had to turn off the comments. Like Joe Biden, nobody believes her. Nobody is sympathetic to her. Hillary can't take the rejection that she wishes on Trump and wishes on all of us. I don't know what makes these people like Hillary or people like Zuckerberg, think that we really give a fuck about them. And folks, Zuckerberg's got enemies at his home and around him. He mistreats his neighbors. He's not a nice guy. Just ask the Hawaiians. Ask them. Ask the Hawaiians. And while we're talking about the Hawaiians, Joe Biden has dodged comment after comment, question after question, request after request, inquiry after inquiry regarding Maui, Hawaii, what he's done, what he's going to do, what he thinks. He's refused to say a damn word about it. Meanwhile, concurrent at the same time, in other words, with what's going on in Hawaii, the Biden administration is getting ready to send billions more over to Ukraine. That's what they're going to do. They're going to send billions more over to Ukraine while ignoring the damage, the destruction, the pain, the suffering, the loss, the death. There are missing people in Hawaii. There are uprooted people in Hawaii. Do you know how far $1 billion would go in Hawaii, in Maui, in Lahaina, in Kaanapali to help fix things? But no, we need to send money over to a losing war. That's right. That's what they're going to do. That's our government for you, right there. That's our government. Unfreaking believable. That's how they do it. That's how they do it. Now, I want you to know, folks, these people in government, they're basically evil. At this point, there's no, the mask is off. Hillary, oof. Right, Hillary, Nancy Pelosi, oof. Joe Biden, eesh. Obama, I guess an old acquaintance, girlfriend or something of Obama's from a long time ago, has released a letter from this guy, and he talked about how he fantasized about spending personal time. I'm trying to be nice and coy about this, bosom buddy time with men. That's right, folks. We had our first actual rainbow president back with Obama. These people, they hate us. I don't know why. We pay our taxes, we follow the law. Anyways, they hate us and they want us through. I want to give you a taste of how they do this and understand why shit has hit the fan, and understand that they don't respect us. They don't care about us. They don't care for us. They don't give a shit about their oaths. It's all about the ends justifying the means. So a reporter had a huge statement, reported this, folks, that Judge Chutkan rolled her eyes and put her face in her hands when Trump's attorney on Friday decided to argue their case. Exasperated she was. Folks, a judge is supposed to be impartial. A judge is supposed to be patient. And when a judge does this, oh my gosh, what are they saying? That their mind is made up. They believe they know better. And folks, the defendant has no chance in hell when you see that. Is that what you want to see when you go to court? Now, I've sat in court, traffic court, a couple of times in my life, and I've watched the most ridiculous people make the most outrageous claims, stupid shit in front of a judge who doesn't roll his eyes, doesn't throw his hands in the air, doesn't put his face in his hands, just listens, says, okay, yes, no, maybe so, bangs the little gavel, we're done here, on to the next. Patience, impartiality, judging what's in front of them, not having an emotional reaction designed to dissuade the defense from even trying, because that's what you're being told. You stand in front of these people, folks, in judgment. You're not in judgment over the law. In fact, I think it was Uman or Kaz who put up the state of Georgia, released very quickly, then took down, I guess, some of the charges they're throwing at Trump. And they are outrageous, folks. If anyone's exasperated, it's the American people. It is. The American people, they're getting bashed about, you and I. You and I. And you're going to get your chance to talk about what is going on. So make sure your questions are down below. We got this. This is a huge deal right here. Pissed me off bright and early today. In Austin, Texas. That's right, Texas, folks. A school district has shuttled children to a pride parade. That's right, it's been released. What the hell is going on? It's bad enough they have rainbow and communist flags in the classroom, but they're like, no, we need to take you to a pride parade. What's a pride parade, folks? Homosexuals dressed in their sexual attire. Fruitcakes committing acts of fruitcakery. There's salad tossed all over each other's faces. This is what they do at their little parades. And a school wanted to take children there and expose them to that. How is that not grooming? How is that not grooming? Texas needs to follow Florida's lead and outlaw this. What is wrong with Texas that they're allowing this shit? There should be a state law prohibiting this type of activity, sexualizing children, period. Whether it's straight or gay, I don't care. What the fuck is going on in this country, folks? They're trying to take it down as fast and as hard as they can. I'm sure there are decency laws out there that just need to be enforced. It is. In fact, one of these fruitcakes is decide they're going to sue somebody. And here's one of the stories right here. Pornhub. Remember when we were all locked down in 2020? Everyone, it's just 2 weeks. Got to flatten the curve. Pornhub and other porn sites are suing Texas over an age verification law. Well, you got to have ID to buy beer, wine, hard alcohol. You got to have ID to buy guns, right? Because there are laws. There's safety laws. There's sin laws, sin taxes. But I guess a money shot or a gangbang isn't a sin anymore. So, yeah, well, it is. But Pornhub doesn't want that. The rainbow fruitcakes, they don't want people stopping them. And I think there's also, and I got to find it, folks. There we go, right? A Texas drag queen has filed a lawsuit over the state prohibiting children from attending adult performances. Well, if there's a state law for that, how many adult performances in a parade were those children exposed to? Why aren't people being arrested? Where are the investigations? Where's the media in all this? Well, the police, if they're controlled, won't investigate. Any more than in Germany, they're going to investigate and arrest a bunch of migrants, non-German migrants who think it's their duty, right, to beat the hell out of people that don't want them to have freebie welfare handouts. And here in America, everyone gets a free teabagging from these fruitcakes. Oh, there's morality laws, folks, and child protection laws, yeah. And a Texas drag queen goes to court because that is prohibited. Well, so in Austin, they need to start doing some prosecuting. And someone needs to take this drag queen and drag them out into the public nicely, not really drag, no violence, folks. Wouldn't want to do that. Wouldn't want to recommend her or promote or encourage or incite any harmful or dangerous behavior. But these drag queens need to be taken out into the street and told how things really work in the real world. I recommend the old school technique for learning lessons. It used to work, folks. Someone messed up, right? It's the, I think the more common version of that is fuck around, find out. You bet. It's time to stand on our principle, folks. Just like Trump. There was in Iowa, a reporter decided to ask Trump, why don't you take a plea? Man, you just admit your guilt. And he says, we don't take plea deals because I did nothing wrong. I've talked about this, standing on principle, exercising your rights. If you don't stand up for yourself, who the hell is going to want to stand up for you? If you don't have enough self-respect, why should anyone else respect you and stick up for you? It's time to fight back against these people, folks. Get prepared and then prep to action. Seriously, prep to action. Ted Cruz. Okay, Ted. He says if Biden is guilty of taking bribes, he should go to prison. Okay, Ted. We've got the evidence. No more talk. Organize action, Ted. Take action. Imagine if I was a senator, which I'll never be. Imagine if I was a senator. The things that would be said and the paperwork that would be filed and the demand that legal, lawful action be taken. Every day there would be paperwork turned into the Attorney General's office. There would be court cases filed, writ of mandamus, mandating the Department of Justice investigate and prosecute. They have a job, a mandate to do it. I just wish the government, people like Ted Cruz, people like Representative Stube would stop talking and start doing. Execute on this plan. No more talk. All this talk and investigation, it's bullshit. Nothing has come from it, has it? No, not at all. Nothing has come from it. Right. Now, in Argentina, folks, they're fighting back against socialism. This guy named Javier Milei, I can't pronounce his name. I don't know if it's French, German, indigenous, English, but Javier Milei, Spanish, Portuguese. Anyways, he's Argentina, and he is now winning the primary election. He is a right-wing candidate. In other words, he's not a socialist. Argentina, folks, has dealt with socialists for decades and decades. They elect socialists, they throw them out, they arrest them, they bring them back, and they have now elected a conservative. I'm surprised that he hasn't had an Arkansas accident. I'm surprised he hasn't caught a lead cold. I'm surprised he hasn't taken too much chain swimming. But this is another example of the people of the world rejecting what these socialists are doing. Right? I'm surprised that the election wasn't, how do we put this? That there wasn't fraud in it, that they didn't cheat, they didn't say, who gives a shit about the votes and counting them? We want our left-wing loser in there. Folks, the very powerful continue to do that. Hell, here in the United States of America, a Kansas newspaper owner, guy owns a newspaper in Kansas. Well, guess what? The police force raided his newspaper. Seized computers, seized equipment, because a powerful city figure needed protection from the media. See, this is what happened when the media wants to get the news out. And so the guy is dead. Did he die of raid stress? Or did someone come over from Arkansas to Kansas? You know, Arkansas. Was he Kansas-sided? Unbelievable, folks. The people that are dying. Why? To protect these powerful people. And again, I'm going to let you know this. The reason I brought that story up is when shit hits the fan, it goes hotspots, you're going to be dealing with local law enforcement, local politics, local decisions. Remember Hurricane Katrina? That was an SHTF serious event. And what was the first thing the chief of police did? He came out and said, we're going to take all the guns. No one's going to have guns. That is the time that you need guns, when everyone needs guns to protect themselves. What did they say? It's time to take the guns. That's how these lefties think, folks. That's what they want. All righty. Well, here we are. We are halfway through the show. And you know what that means? It's time for the inner circle. It's time for your chance to talk. And we are back. We got a few things to talk about. Let's see what you have on your mind. Mr. Uman, who's in the background, he's got the blue wrench and he's got the permissions for this. Oh, folks, by the way, if you are a subscriber, you pay $2 a month. That's it, $2 a month, 7 cents a day to be on thepreparedmind.club or subscribestar.com. Either way, you get instant access Monday through Friday live right here. And Who's Your Life 67 steps up. I'll say, who's your daddy? He says, wonder what would happen if we started to have women strippers and pole dancers at the schools so they can be taught how to get lap dances and proper way to tuck a buck. Well, I think, just a few years ago, something like that happened. And I think the stripper was locked up. I would be shocked, of course, and I would be equally opposed to seeing that happen. Be equally opposed. I just, what gets me is the depravity. The depravity. Is this what schools are about? What is school supposed to be about? It used to be about reading, writing, and arithmetic. Now, the founding fathers, this notion that kids go to school and learn something is, relatively speaking, a new idea in humanity. A new idea. The church, as in the Catholic Church, the church that ran all of Europe, all of European society and culture, they kept people ignorant. You could only learn to read if you were a member of the clergy, a monk, a priest, a cardinal. Right? Kings did not know how to read. Very few people were allowed to read. Judges, scribes, lawyers. Oh yeah, lawyers have been around a while, folks. Centuries and centuries screwing us over. Lawyers are actually one of the few professions mentioned in the New Testament who are not spoken of very well. Now, let us continue. So this idea came about in America that people should be taught, well, what? Their history, the law, philosophy, reading, writing, mathematics. That's right, folks. In the early 1700s, a philosophical group came out and started supporting education. And that took root in America, this idea, once they were free, that people, children, need to be given an education so they will do well in life. They'll be more productive. They'll be more making decisions that are more intelligent. Makes sense, doesn't it? Makes sense. Well, here we are, folks, 250 years later, and they've decided that education means learning how to suck one off, learning how to dance on a pole, learning how to commit the most depraved acts sexually, the most perverted shit that man can think of is what they're teaching in school. Teaching children to hate themselves, hate their skin color, hate their parents, hate their country, hate their culture, hate their history. That's what they teach now. Self-hatred, self-deprivation, just awfulness. Who's your life? Is that what you had in mind when you wrote that? I know that you were being funny. What would happen? What would happen if they sent a straight man into school? How about a heterosexual black man, American, who is a conservative? What would the teachers think? What would the school say if he stood up there and said, learn to read, learn to write? There's nothing stopping you except you from making a difference in your life and becoming successful and pleased with yourself, having pride in yourself, versus relying on others to make you feel better. You should be proud of yourself because of your brains and your hard work. Whether you go into a computer job, a management job, or you work with your hands building stuff, working out in there, right? Working on a farm, whatever. right? What would they say to that? We can't have that. Well, hell no. You need to rely on others to make yourself feel good. You need the adoration of others. So learn to give them what they need. Just look in those gay books. They'll show you all about how you're supposed to please and perform to get people to accept you and like you. See, it's what this is all about. Is people have to use your pronouns. If people are using your proper pronouns, then that means they've accepted you, and now you're a good person, right? It's just ridiculous. And Who's Your Life says, yeah, you got to flip the script to show how asinine their beliefs are. Yeah, I'm telling you, hold a mirror up to Medusa. What does she do? She turns to stone. Medusa is quite interesting, right? A woman that's supposed to be beautiful is cursed, and she is so hideous and so ugly that any man or woman that looks upon her is turned to stone. That's the literal myth. But if you look at it not as literal myth, but rather psychological or philosophical, there's people out there that, yeah, they may be beautiful on the outside, but they're actually hideous people, and they'll turn the hearts and minds of others to stone, just stone cold dead when you see them and what they're all about, right? It's just incredible. Mythology, it's got some great lessons to teach, does it not? Stupid shirt. Okay. Anyways, thank you, Hoosier. I appreciate that. And I still am drinking that Balvine. Slip that in on the occasion. Of course, I only do the Glenlivet 18 for Sunday Night Live, but I prefer to try different scotches. Anyways, we've got a great turnout today. We're starting to get more and more people showing up live, taking full advantage. We have, I don't know how many hundreds of people that are subscribers on thepreparedmind.club and also at subscribestar.com. But I really appreciate you guys showing up on a daily basis and taking a look, telling us what you think. So who wants to have something to say next? Mr. Uman. Well, it's doing stuff with Nikki. And I think we missed her last night, which is probably a good thing. I got clobbered with 4 shots of scotch at the end of 2 hours. Anyways, this is what she has to say. She says, they wouldn't need a state law if the parenting was done right from the beginning. Oh, it's incredible, folks. It's incredible what schools can do to the minds of children and young adults. Children, teens, adolescents, and young adults. Imagine raising your child, boy or girl, spending those developmental years creating this person that is intelligent and respectful and understands human relations and the nuclear family, and then goes out to school and is participating socially and in sports and academics. And you support these kids the whole way, your kids. And you try to teach them right from wrong and help them learn the lessons that they learn socially in school. And then they grow up and then they reject you and crap all over you because the school finally breaks them down. The school finally convinces them to hate you and hate your color, your race, your heritage, your law, your country. I understand exactly what you're saying, Nikki. Parenting should be done right from the very beginning. But it is because the schools are so filthy now. Absolutely filthy. I mean, the shit that's going on today, my kids didn't have to deal with. My last son graduated in 2018. 2016, I think, was my first son's graduation. 2016, 17. Anyway, since then, it's really gone to hell even faster. It's just incredible. Absolutely incredible. The fact that schools are continuing to put this shit in there. I think that they need to be charged with crimes for exposing children to garbage of a sexual nature. It is not, there's a difference between sex education, which is to teach children what reproductive organs do, right? This is how the system works. This is a boy. Yes, a boy has a penis. This is a girl. The girl has a vagina. You put the parts together and things happen. They've taken this word sex. It should be, how about this? Reproductive education instead of calling it sex education. Because now sex education is, well, teaching kids how to put a banana in your bum. Well, really, that's education? No, that's perversion. Everything they teach now is perversion. Absolutely perversion. Wow. Anyways, thank you, Nikki. Good hearing from you. And thank you again for the work you did with Uman working on the the Aquatic Adventures logo. We got a new logo we're using over there. Okay, but here we are on the Prepared Mind channel looking at all the crap that's going on. And this came up, speaking of crap, absolute, folks, in Oregon, Lane County, Oregon. Well, there's this fire there called the Lookout Fire. They've given the evacuation order. Yeah, it's August. It's fire season. Why is it year after year, states have not figured out how to stop forest fires, how to fight forest fires, how to put them out? Are there not airplanes that have tanker loads of fire retardant, water? What happened to the ability to stop fires? Why is it that every year entire forests have to burn? I recall decades ago when they started that spotted owl bullshit in California. It killed industry everywhere in the Sierra Nevada foothills. Everywhere. From Mount Shasta all the way to the Oregon border, and then all the way down from Grass Valley to Auburn to Placerville to Jackson to Sonora to Mariposa to Tuolumne County, all the way down, folks. They just killed the timber industry over the spotted owl. No more cutting old growth forests. And now what are they doing? Now what are they doing? What? They're letting the forest burn. I guess fuck the spotted owl, huh? And everyone else. It's all bullshit, folks. It's all control. That's all they care about, control. All right, Mr. Uman, what do we got out there? Who is up next? We got Heidi. H12 checks in and says, I noticed the Democrats are going after Trump's team, his lawyers, associates, friends, etc. Why aren't the Republicans subpoenaing Biden's lawyers, etc.? Are they not allowed? Well, yeah, they're trying to subpoena the defense, right? They've got Hunter Biden, they've got the Department of Justice. They're trying, but what are they going to do? Even if they subpoena him, they ask him to come in. They don't come in. They refuse. They ask him for documents. They refuse to send documents. They threaten to charge him with contempt of court. They try and charge them and threaten that, hey, you've committed perjury, and nothing happens. That's the Republican way. Learn how to lose gracefully. Learn how to lose, but make it look like you're really trying. Washington is a cesspool. It's not a swamp, folks. It is a wastewater, fecal dumping zone. That's exactly what Washington, D.C. is. Enough talk, enough bullshit, enough threats. Well, a Republican will come out, stand in front of a camera, sound tough, and do absolutely nothing. And that makes most Republicans happy. They're like, yeah, my guy's in there doing something. Right? I'm tired of listening to Jim Jordan jack his jaw. Matt Gaetz, great, talk tough, do something real. Big Marge, Taylor Greene, do something. Boebert, do something. Senator Cotton, Senator Hawley, do something. Don't just talk. Senator Cruz, do something. Right? Who has done something? Well, the most done something has happened down in the state of Florida down there. Right? It's fighting with Disney, destroying their disgusting, creepy control system outside the law on Disney property. Take away their bullshit, right? Their special privileges. Outlawing critical race theory, outlawing this gay crap in schools, removing pornography from schools. That's actually doing something. Now, Biden's lawyers, or rather the prosecution that's going after Trump, yeah, they're going after his lawyers, making it hard. And they've done this, folks, since Biden took over. They've gone after all of Trump's lawyers. Paul Manafort was one. They went after Michael Flynn, General Flynn. They've gone after Roger Stone. They've gone after Dr. Atlas. They've gone after Pete Navarro, who is again back out, kicking the stuffing and tar out of these left-wing lunatics. I mean, he let them have it. Right. Wow. These left-wing idiots, they'll go after everyone. Yeah. Trump's lawyers, Trump's family, Trump's friends, everybody, anybody. Why? It's to intimidate them. It's to let them know they can be destroyed. They will be destroyed. But the left is full of idiots too, folks. They're not intelligently going after them. They're just throwing the book at them. Literally, it's not an intelligent prosecution. It's throwing the book at them. Like Karine Jean-Pierre, the press secretary. Let me give an example how idiotic they are. Senator Mazie Hirono of Hawaii. Well, number one, she's a complete retarded ding-dong too. But Karine Jean-Pierre mispronounced her name and then called her a man. That's how stupid these are. Stupid, stupid, stupid. It's incredible, folks. It's incredible. The attack that the lawyers, the prosecutors are making against Trump. And it's outrageous the way they're treating Trump. And then get this, folks. In the state of Montana, right? The judge decided he was going to take the side of children who wanted to sue Montana, the state of Montana, over climate change. And so the attorney, the Democrat attorney who's representing children who wanted to sue the state. I thought the state had sovereign immunity. Like I said, folks, it just depends on who wants to win. If it's a Democrat case, they'll win. If it's a Republican case, no, sovereign immunity. This, folks, is the type of behavior that a corrupt, outrageously corrupt, how do I put this? Just evil government. That's how they behave. That's how they make their decisions. That's it. That's what they do. And it's all they do is just continue to do everything immorally, destructively to us. Me, you, our kids, everyone. Absolutely everyone. Here it is. Peter Navarro went after Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. You know what he called him? A hypocritical, blow-dried CCP bitch. Now, Peter Navarro was the same man in the Trump administration who shouted down Dr. Fauci in the White House for lying and screwing us over. Peter Navarro, I think, is a great American and a hero who is uncelebrated and unknown by and large. But this bill, there was a bill that was being introduced that Kevin McCarthy undermined, shit on. And the bill was going to stop Chinese influence over USA, our infrastructure here. I think it's fucking hilarious. I really do, that he called him a hypocrite, blow-dried CCP, which is China. CCP bitch. I mean, is he wrong? Can anyone argue with that? I don't know. But, I'm blow-dried. Well, Gavin Newsom in California, and that's where Kevin McCarthy is from. He likes blow dry styled hair, and so does Justin Trudeau, right? Light in the loafers, Justin Trudeau. These guys all love the blow dried hair look. We're going to need strong leadership, folks. I really hope that people want to show their strength. It's interesting, folks. Peter Navarro, was he one arrested or was he just detained and interrogated? Did he just have his phone taken from him, or was he asked to come downtown to answer some questions? People are being raided, as we discussed. Let's see, newspaper, Christians who want to oppose and, well, protest outside of abortion clinics, right-wing groups, anti-tax groups, pro-Second Amendment groups, businesses that don't like lockdowns, First Amendment protesters who are right-wing. We're all being silenced right here on glorious YouTube, which is why we have the preparedmind.club, is to be able to keep saying what we need to say. We have to fight back, folks. You fight now here using emails, phone calls, text messages, computer messaging. You fight here, or we're going to have to fight out in the street. All right, Mr. Uman, we got 8 minutes left, and I know we got some more comments. It's Chin Music. And he says, John, I heard some hillbilly today said that the federal government wants you dead. That hillbilly is right. That Italian hillbilly is exactly what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, the federal government wants us dead. They want you to obey them or die. They want to know what papers you have. Give us your traveling papers. Give us your registration. If you refuse, you'll get shot. You'll die. They show up at your house, knock on your door, make a couple of demands. If you don't comply fast enough, you die. They made an example out of that old man, a 75-year-old crippled old man who was getting a little too cantankerous, a little too edgy with his comments, which were taken as threats. He didn't hold up a head that looked like Joe Biden covered in blood the way that redheaded comedian did with Donald Trump's head. Nope, all he did was say that, people need to be shot. And so the FBI showed up at his house, and when he didn't kiss their ass properly and fast enough, they shot him. What they did was they made an example out of him. Understand this. They get more power by killing one person. They need to kill people, and then I label us bad. Yeah, the government wants you dead. The agents want you dead. The departments, the bureaus want you dead, whether it's the FBI, the IRS, the ATF, the DHS. Every time they kill one of us, they scare hundreds. They scare thousands. How many people now aren't going to say shit because they killed that man in Utah? At the same time, how many other people, how many of us went, hey, 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 we see what you're doing. We're loaded up. We're not going to answer the door when you knock. And if you come through the door, we may not be welcoming you the way you would hope. A lot of people are getting pissed off. And I want to remind everyone, hey, don't expect a revolution anytime soon. I don't want to be that guy promising you a revolution next week and we'll fix this shit. But I'll tell you what, there's these two battles that were fought, Lexington and Concord. And I don't think we're there yet. I don't think we're there yet. But that wasn't the Continental Army that faced off against the British Army. It wasn't an organized militia. It was some locals who had had enough bullshit. And they decided they were going to man up and show up and fight with the Brits. Fight with, if you will, in modern terms, the feds. They were fed up. Lexington and Concord. Those were battles about gun confiscation. Those were battles about government abuse. And that preempted the violence that broke out shortly thereafter. Are we going to see that? Lexington and Concord, look it up on the internet. Those were real events that prompted Americans to say, yeah, we've all had enough of this shit. Is the government, are they afraid that's going to happen? Yes. Could that be why they want to pick us off one by one and arrest us one by one rather than taking on a whole city, a whole town, a whole state? We're going to find out how this shakes out. It's not going to be a picnic, folks. It's not going to be a boatload of fun. It's going to be a frickin' mess. Let's do this. Uman, what else have we got here? We've got name redacted. He says, everything cult cabal does is about distortion, inversion, and the opposite of goodness. It is not an accident. It is evil on purpose for the purpose of what evil does. Evil destroys, evil disassembles, evil mimics good. It lies, it deceives. Yep, it distorts. Great observations. Thank you, name redacted. All right, Mr. Uman, and one more I'm sure we have out there. I can just sense it floating. And there it is. It is Uman himself. Education and manufacturing were severely damaged in the 1990s. We have not seen significant innovation since then, just improvements on what was new technology back then. Well, let's see. Computers came along, then they got faster and faster and faster. The screens for our computers, they became full color, and then they became flat screen, LCD or LED. And here we are now, plasma TVs. We did get touch screen, right? That was an innovation that was significant, but that's been around since what, 2008, 2009? Yeah, there's not a whole lot. It's just some computer technology. They've attached computer technology to cars. Electric vehicles, EVs, they've been around not since 2010. They've been around since 1910. In fact, I think the first EVs, electric vehicles, were from the 1800s. They've had batteries a long time. They've had batteries a long time, and electric motors a long time. There hasn't been a whole lot of improvements. Yeah. Education has also been damaged. The intelligent mind can invent things. A creative mind can invent things. It's stunted education, stunted mental growth. A misdirected, a misguided mind is not going to become creative and intelligent. What they're doing to kids in school now is damaging them. Absolutely damaging them. Right? Let me give you a little taste of this. Right? In Alabama, a teacher there was arrested for sending explicit video of himself to a 17-year-old, right? This teacher, folks, is a special education teacher. Yikes. I'm sure he won't get in trouble because he's going to claim to be trans in 3, 2, 1, right? Right? Let me just ask this question. How can distributing cartoon, gay, anal pornographic books to entire school districts to be in their libraries and on their bookshelves, how come that is okay? But a teacher shows pictures of himself and that's a crime now? Makes no sense. I think it should all be a crime. What's the difference? If it's illegal in every school, right? If it's illegal, folks, every school should be swept of these perversions. Teachers, their phones, their emails, their computers, they should be taken from them and investigated. And we need to start having real education in school again. That would be great. Is it going to happen? We need our education fixed as much as we need our voting system fixed. This is the world we have, folks. It's not pretty. 2024 is coming, and I don't think it's going to end very well at all. I know the Democrats are afraid of Trump, so they're willing to do anything, say anything to try and destroy the election. It's looking bad. Hey, chance favors the prepared mind. Are you ready? Do you have what you need? Do you have your plan? I want to thank everybody, and off we go. Until tomorrow at 0 dark, you're on your own. But folks, chance favors the prepared mind. Aren't you glad you are a prepper?